Hello guys, I hope you're having a good time, and today the weather is really rainy and I'm loving it. And today we're having an English file, intermediate first unit part A action verbs and non-action verbs, the grammar part. Okay, first of all, let's talk about first. Wait. So first of all, let's talk about action verbs. So what do we say? Verbs that show, verbs that show what? Verbs which describe. Okay, remember, verb which describe actions. Okay, for example, let me put a comma here. For example, cook, it has an action, physical action. Make, wait, please. Cook has a physical action. Make has a physical action. These can be used in the present continuous. First thing first. Okay, so be careful guys. Verb which shows an action. What kind of action? Physical action. Okay, they're used in past tense, present continuous. Like, for example, they can be used, you cannot use them in present, we use them in present simple. Sorry for that, sorry. We use them in what? Present simple or simple present. Be very careful about this part. Okay, so for example, as well as you can use it for both, let's make it like this, or present continuous. Okay, verbs that show an action, a physical action. Eating is what? A physical action. Okay, so you can use them either in present simple or present continuous. Very easy. So for example, let's take an example. Like in simple present, if I want to use, I'm in present continuous, I'm making the lunch. I'm making what? The lunch. So here it's what? Present continuous. First, yeah. Next, for example, I usually make the lunch on what? Or you can say at the weekend. I usually make the lunch at the weekend. So this usually, it shows that this is which tense? Yeah, it's simple present or present simple. Okay, so first big difference. So first, action verbs. Action verbs are used to show what? Yeah, to show actions. What kind of actions? We will say physical actions, which has what do we say? Which has a physical action like eating, cooking, making. Okay, it all has a physical action. All right, guys. So next, 2 verbs, like we will say, non-action verbs. Sometimes they're also called mental verbs. What are they called? Mental verbs. Okay. Verbs which describe a state or feelings. It shows your what? Your feelings. Okay. A state which describe a state or feeling. Remember, not actions. You're not supposed. It is not supposed to show what? Actions. For example, For example, what? Love, need, and be. Okay, so these are what? These are non-action verbs. These are non-action verbs. So these are what, guys? Non-action verbs. Like love, it's a mental verb. It doesn't have any action, okay? And then need, you need something in your brain, in your mind. Then be, like was, were, as, am, are, being, and been or been. They're all non-action verbs. So look at this part. Non-action verbs which describe a state. Let's go for this one. Or feeling. It does not show what action. Okay, so they are, what do you do with this one? When I say they are usually used in simple present. Okay, simple present and not present continuous. I hope so you understood. Like listen, you can use them in simple present, yeah, but you cannot use them in present continuous. This is right. Okay, all right, so like let me give you example. You can write example in both ways. In British you write it like this, okay, and in American you write it with EX. So like example, I need a pair of shoes. I need a pair of shoes. Now look at this one, guys. I need a pair of shoes. Here this need is a stative verb or non-action verb. Okay, so here we used past tense simple present. So let me copy this one. So this is what? Our simple present tense, right? Next one. Next example, I love my parents. Even if the action was happening right now, it's better to use simple present, okay? Even if the action was happening right now, you use what? Yeah, present simple. Perfect. Okay, let me put a space. Let's make it more professional, guys. I'll do it professional. So that's it. So some common non-action verbs are. So those verbs that are usually common, non-action verbs. Look at this part. Let me underline it and then let me highlight it. This is called highlighting, okay? So, like they are agree, believe, belong. These all are usually used in what? In present continuous, simple present, guys. You can use them in simple present. Hate, know, hear, like, love, matter, okay, matter, mean, need, I gave it to you before also, need, prefer, need, hear, need, prefer, realize, recognize. I didn't recognize you. Simple past. I can't recognize him. Remember, seem, suppose. What is it? Suppose. So, and we have many more as well, okay? So these are all used in present simple. Why? Because they're non-action verbs. Okay, so let me give you example. Like you cannot say I am meaning. I am meaning that. Okay, so this one is wrong because mean is what? Mean is a non-action verbs and your tense is present continuous. No, you cannot use this. I am meaning that. Manzurum I has K and Dari we say. So this sentence is completely read, and let me do it like this. Wrong. All right. So this is a wrong sentence. You cannot use this mean verb because it is used. Then how do I say it? The right one? Example. I mean that. I mean that. Simple present. Okay. So this is what kind of sentence? It's right one. Okay. So right. Let's put this one. It's light green. Okay, so this is right. Why? Because this is a non-action verbs, and non-action verbs can be used in what? Can be used mostly in simple present, and you cannot use them in present continuous. All right, guys. Thank you. But exception, and there we say istisna. In what cases you can use a non-action verbs into what? In what cases you can use a non-action verb in ing form? In case, for example, let's take have. Have can be both. It can be an action verb. It can be an action verb and a non-action verb. For example, I have a cat. Here, this have is what? This have is our verb, and we will check what kind of verb is this. And this one shows possession. What does it show? Possessions means you own a cat. That means it is non-action verb. There is no action for that. That's it. You have it's a possession. Okay. So what is it? It's a non-action verb. What is non-action verb? Have. Have is a non-action verb. Okay. Let's use the have in as an action verb as well. And action verbs are usually used in what? Yes, present continuous. I'm having my dinner. Okay, here have is an action verb. Okay, have here is used as an action verb. All right, so let me give you another example. Example 2. I can't talk now. So this is action verb. Talk. Talk is an action verb, so you can use it in simple present. And also you can use it. Okay, so this one is an action verb here. You can use it as non-action verb also, like this. I think this music is great. Okay, so this is a non-action verb. So which tense I used? I use simple present. Next one. If I say same thing for what are you thinking. Okay, so here thinking is an action verb. So sometimes exceptions, you can use the action verbs in both. I mean non-action verbs in both. Okay, also in simple present and present continuous. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can comment below and you can tell me, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.